Howdy there, Chimp Champ. Welcome back to One Great Manga War. Hopefully you're having a fantastic day today. And you may notice that there are some empty holes in my manga collection. Well, where could they be? They're right here. I am sitting down right now. It is past my head at this point. This is how big my 6-month manga haul has been. So, this is everything y'all have missed since the last time we've been together. So, without further ado, let's jump into it. So, it has been 6 months since the last time you've seen my manga collection. And there's been a lot of series that I have been adding. And a bookshelf. We have added a bookshelf to this thing because I need another one. Without further ado, let's just jump into it. So, first one we have here is Rurouni Kenshin. My man Doofy, when we did the collaboration video on our favorite shonen arcs, Doofy, the man was right. This is freaking amazing. This goes into more detail about his past, these 6 volumes, and my god, it's amazing. It is amazing. So good. So good. So, basically what happens is this like the secret organization who has ties to Kenshin comes back to dismantle the whole peaceful era. And because Kenshin let this person survive, he feels like it is his personal duty to take care of the situation once and for all. And he believes that he's going to have to murder this man. And all of his friends are really worried about him because they don't want to see him go back to his alter ego, Batosai the Manslayer, who he was during the war. And watching him slowly try to figure out what he needs to do to get past his past. It's just so good. It's so amazing. Showing us that who we were in our past isn't necessarily who we are now. And watching him control his alter ego, Batosai, is just absolutely amazing. And if you have not read Rurouni Kenshin, you are doing yourself a big disservice. Check this out. This series is amazing. And I absolutely adore it. And Doofy was 100% right on this arc. It's been amazing. And I need to pick up more volumes when I can find them for cheap. Because the Vizbigs are out of print. And the guy did some very bad no-no stuff. He liked a lot of... he likes little children, so he went to jail because of that. And I really don't want to buy any brand new volumes because of that. So these are all used. If you don't care about that, that's perfectly fine. Go ahead. You're your own person. But I don't want to support that, so I buy all my volumes used. And it doesn't matter anyway because the Vizbigs are out of stock and out of print everywhere. And once you hit like volume 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, they start going to really, really expensive territory. So I'm happy with what I got right now, and if I do want more volumes, if I can find it for cheap, I will. Right now, it's kind of in the same area that Battle Royale Ultimate Editions is. I really love this series, and I really want to get some more volumes, but it's going to take a minute because this series is really out of print. I could buy the 3-in-1s, technically, but like, the quality of the Vizbigs, the quality is so good. It's so good. And I love this series so much, to death. Check it out if you haven't. That is Rurouni Kenshin. Stick it back up there. There we go. Okay. So the next series we have is one I have not finished yet. Ignore that. Is Ping Pong. I hate to say it, guys, but I think I'm becoming a sports anime guy. Anime manga guy, because I love Hajime no Ippo. It's one of my favorite anime of all time. Changed my life for the better. And Ping Pong is becoming one of my favorite mangas of all time, even though I have not finished it yet. Basically, it's about this main character called Pico, who absolutely adores the sport of ping pong. He embodies that childlike sense of wonder and curiosity, the absolute joy that is doing your passion and doing it properly. He gives his all 100% of the time, and he shows through the other 4 main characters, the joy of giving it your all and having fun and not taking anything too seriously. And that is such an amazing story because of that. Because of the main characters, there's one that's another really big one, and this is this guy right here. This guy just plays ping pong for fun. He doesn't think he should take it too seriously. There's no point in it. He doesn't really care. But Pico teaches him, like, hey, you are severely limiting your talent. you obviously have such an amazing talent for this sport. You are doing yourself a disservice just halfway doing it and not caring about it. Put your heart and soul into the sport, and you will love it. And that's what his trainer, Butterfly Joe, teaches him. Butterfly Joe was a big name back in the day in the sport, and he shows him that you need to give it your all and stop limiting yourself. Give it your 100%. And there's a lot of other characters in the series which I haven't got to their proper arc yet, because I believe the way the story is going, it's most likely going to be resolved with Pico fighting them in the tournament. I haven't got to that point yet, but like, ugh, I'm so ready for it. I'm about halfway through the second volume. It is only, by the way, it is only 2 dummy thick volumes, and this is like stupidly thick. It is also bigger than a Visbig. This sucker is bigger than a Visbig. And it's super heavy, super gorgeous, full color art on some pages. It's amazing. And the artwork's gorgeous. It is very weird artwork, but like in the best way possible. It takes like the best way I can describe it is like Chainsaw Man's really stilted and awkward looking artwork, and then cleans it up to a very gorgeous look. I'm gonna find a panel real quick that I'm gonna try to find the panel that I really like. Here we go. That's this one. Look at this artwork, guys. It is just absolutely stunning. It is just gorgeous. And I love this series to death. The way the series is going, it will probably be better than Beck. And that hurts my soul to say that, because I absolutely adore Beck. But it's either going to be better than Beck, or it's going to be right under Beck. But this series is a lot of fun. A lot of fun, and if you have not checked it out, you definitely should, since he also made the new Kaiju number 8, which definitely surprised me, because this dude's artwork in here looks nothing like Kaiju number 8. This series has made me want to look more into this guy's work, except for some of the volumes that are out of print, because of course there's volumes out of print. But I'm definitely going to have to check out Taiyu Matsumoto's work, because this series is absolutely stunning. And the anime is also absolutely stunning. This has got a fantastic anime as well. Only 11 episodes. Check it out if you don't want to read the manga, or you just rather prefer anime. It's really good. It's so amazing. I love it to death. Now we're going to get into some peak fiction real quick, guys. Just fair warning. Quality stuff here. We got the newest volumes of Don't Toy With Me, Miss Nagatoro. Man, it's so good. So good. So, in this one right here, volume 8, like, we get a lot more character development for the main character, Senpai. We see him actually, like, I always say, like, he's growing more of a backbone each issue, but, like, this one just absolutely shows how much more of a giga chat he's becoming. And it's so good because of that. And we get to meet his Nagatoro's sister. Really cool stuff. And he's actually knows her name now, and actually says it, which is just like awesome, because her last name is Nagatoro. It's like a Japanese custom where like you say the last name until you get really close to someone, and then you say their first name. So like once he learns her first name and starts using it, it's like super awesome, because it's like, oh my god, they're close to each other now. And it's like, oh man, that's amazing. It makes me so happy. I love Nagatoro so much. It's one of the few series that just make me smile from ear to ear, and another series we'll get to eventually. But every time I read this, it's just very wholesome, smiley, good stuff, and I like it a lot. I like this series a lot. I ain't gonna lie to you guys, I love it. So every time a new volume comes out, I'm like, finally, I can get my freaking Nagatoro fix. I love this series to death. And if you have not checked it out yet, I definitely recommend it. It's not for everybody, but like most series aren't for everybody. But check it out if you have not yet. That is Nagatoro. Now, going from super ultra cutesy to super ultra violent, we have Chainsaw Man. And if you have not read Chainsaw Man yet, which I highly doubt, because like everybody under the sun has read Chainsaw Man, even people who aren't into manga. This series has blown up, especially since that new anime is coming out in like, is it October? I don't know, but like this is good. This is some good stuff. Volume 6 and 8, I don't know what he was on. These are some very sussy Baka covers. I don't know, man. I would feel very bad going up to a Barnes & Noble with these specific volumes and be like, yo, I'm buying some Chainsaw Man. Just be like, bro, like, I don't know what's wrong with these covers. But this series is amazing. It's very unique for the shonen genre because it just does not care. It literally does not care at all what's happening. Characters die left and right. It doesn't matter. Some of them come back, some don't. It's just like, what the heck? This series is incredibly fast, too. It just keeps going and going and going. I'm like, oh crap, slow down. I'm still trying to, I'm like processing all this. But it's not like with Tokyo Ghoul, I'm like, I have no idea what's going on, right? But like with Chainsaw Man, I know exactly what's going on. I'm like, oh my god, this is amazing. This is stupid, and I love every moment of it. Because it's just stupid. It's like boom, 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 boom. It's just going and going and going. And I'm like, oh my god. The main character dies, I swear to god, like 2 or 3 times a volume. And like every time it's like for comedic joke. And I love it for that. When a series does deaths properly and like resurrection properly, that's how it should be. If you have a death and you're going to resurrect the character, you should automatically make it known that the character's coming back. Like they do with Dragon Ball in the spoiler alert, the Piccolo saga, where Master Roshi and Krillin die. They make it very obvious they're coming back. Like, oh my god, they're dead. We got the Dragon Balls though, we'll bring them back. That's how that should be done. And that's what Chainsaw Man does. This dude comes back if he gets blood in his system. It's like if his head's cut off, just throw some blood in his mouth, boom, guess what? He is back to full health, and it's just stupid because of that. I gotta show you this one in like volume 6. That just encapsulates everything I adore about this series because of how stupidly crazy it is. Okay, here it is. Chainsaw Man, right here, is riding on a shark while fighting a girl who's half naked with a bomb for a head while there's a tornado baby in the background. It makes no sense at all, and that's the best thing about it. Like the action in the series is just absolutely insane. You've never seen this crap before. One of this guy's abilities like literally takes the person to hell and like kills them multiple times. It is insane, and it is amazing because of it. Because I've never seen this stuff before in the shonen genre, and it makes me super excited seeing something very unique in this. Because you know, some series you get a lot of tropes, right? So like all these series, Rurouni Kenshin, One Piece, where's the other one? Bleach. We get that same stoic kind of character. That's like the stoic main character. We got the training arc. We got all that stuff that's just always in there. We're always used to this. But like Chainsaw Man, there's the stoic there's secondary character, but like they add a lot more character depth besides, oh, he's just stoic, right? He's a lot more than just the angry, broody type. God, it's good. It's good. And there's like, it's just different. That's all I can really say. It's something I haven't seen before in shonen, and I greatly appreciate it. It's the kind of like, it's like, it feels like a roller coaster ride. The best way I can describe it is it's a roller coaster ride. I have no idea why the heck this is happening, but like, it's just crazy. Like 1 second, like he'll be like, oh, I'm good. Like he'll be perfectly fine, absolutely fine, and then like he'll be put on a cross by the Satan and be stabbed. It's stupid. It makes no sense at all, and that's just, it's great because of that. Like, this is the part where they're like in hell and like they just repeatedly die, and it's just insane. And it's gory. I love gore. Gore's great. It's just a lot of fun, super great, awesome, amazing stuff, and it's just, I love it. I love it. And watching like Chainsaw Man struggle, even though he has the pretty much invincible, is still really interesting to see. Because like he'll die and he'll come back, and then he'll die and then he'll come back, and then he'll die and come back, and then he'll die and come back. But like he struggles to like come up with a new way to win. It's like a battle of the brains. Like, how do I win? Because this dude's an idiot. He's also very horny, very, very horny. But he's also really stupid. So it's just like, it's great. This is a character I haven't seen in a long time. Being done before in the shonen genre, and it's better because of it. I love it. It's so good. So good. Check out Chainsaw Man if you haven't yet, which I highly doubt, because like this series is super big right now. And if you haven't yet, definitely check it out. I wish I had more volumes of 6, 7, and 8, but like I had all these pre-ordered, and that's the only reason I was able to get these. Because this series is severely out of stock right now because of how popular it is. And for a very good reason, because this is super good. I wouldn't be surprised if Viz eventually does a box set for this, which I hope they do, because this series is very out of stock. So the moment it comes in stock, it's out of stock again. In stock, out of stock. Even like weird volumes, like volume 4 or like volume 5 will like come in for like a couple days and then boom, it's gone again. I'm just like, wow. Just random volumes like that are selling out. It's just, it makes me really excited because the manga community is growing a lot bigger because of Chainsaw Man. And once that new anime drops, dude, you're not going to be able to find Chainsaw Man anywhere. Or you'll find it everywhere. One of the two. One thing I definitely think, though, is I'm surprised by when it comes to manga. Because I really want the series to get a box set, right? But, like, My Hero Academia hasn't got a box set yet. And I'm like, come on, bro. My Hero Academia, of all series, needs a box set at this point. And I really hope Chainsaw Man gets a box set. Crossing my fingers for those who don't have it yet, because this is amazing and definitely should check it out. Now we move on to the next one. This one isn't a new series for me, but it's one I was really happy to get back into, which is Dragon Ball Super. This is dealing with the Moro arc. I have 12, 13, and 14. Only reason I bought these was kind of an impulse purchase was because it was buy two get one free at Target, and Target had like the volumes for like no joke 20% off. So 20% off plus buy two get one free. I paid $16 for all three of these volumes. Like, dude, that is so cheap. Brand new volumes. Oh my god, I love Target. Target's amazing. I'm glad they did that. But the Moro arc is a lot of fun. The Moro arc does a lot of stuff very interesting that we haven't really seen with Dragon Ball, and by that I mean they add character development to characters. Vegeta's been a little bit of a lull when it comes to character development. So seeing him go to Yardrat, the planet that he originally like despised. Wait, no, I lied. They go to the new planet. What's it called? The new planet Namek. New Namek. And seeing Vegeta deal with his past sins and apologize to people for that is just absolutely amazing. Because he feels like he has a very important stake in this arc because, one, he tried to kill Namek. He wanted to destroy Namek because he worked with Frieza. So seeing New Namek be destroyed by someone else who's a villain, he sees a lot of himself in that, and he feels bad for the sins he's done for that. And he goes around apologizing to people and making amends for that reason. And he finally learns the instant transmission technique, which is amazing. They go to planet Yardrat. Yardrat is actually put on the map, and we actually get to see the people on it. Oh my god, it's so cool. And then, hold up, there's more. We keep getting more development for the whole series. We get the Angel Mirrors on the planet. Oh my god. He is such a unique character because I haven't read like 9, 10, and 11 yet, but I need to. But like he is a very unique character. Like, look at this guy. Oh my god. Angels can't take part of inhumanly in the world around in Universe 7. Because if they do, they're messing around with stuff, and their like godly abilities would screw stuff up, right? So him going down to Earth, knowing this stuff, and knowing that he would die because of this, is just very interesting and really tragic. Because he does die. Spoiler alert. But it's just amazing, so good. And like he was originally like a galactic patrolman, right? Oh, it's another thing! Galactic Patrolmen get a bigger thing in this arc. Like, there's so much crap in this arc that's stuffed into it that adds on to the story of Dragon Ball in ways that we haven't seen before. It makes me super excited. And the fact that this story mostly came from Toyotaro, with very little input from Akira Toriyama, makes me really excited to see someone brand new come into the series of Dragon Ball and take it in a new direction. Because one series that I'm trying to pull it out. One of them that came out, I'm gonna leave it here. It's too like stuffed in here to pull it out right now. But one of my favorite volumes of Dragon Ball that came out was the time I got reincarnated by Yamcha, and that was done exclusively by this guy called Dragon Garoli. That series was done exclusively by him, and I really wish there was more than just one volume because it was absolutely hilarious and stunning and really nostalgic for me. For being a big fan of Dragon Ball. Seeing it go in a new direction was awesome. So seeing another person take on the helm of the Dragon Ball series and take it in a direction that I absolutely agree with is just awesome. Mirrors as a villain is really good, but that's mostly because he's a copy and paste of like the best parts of other villains and put it into one, which is awesome. I ain't gonna lie, dude, that's freaking awesome. He has this ability where like if he eats people, he gets their abilities, which is super interesting because it makes him really hard to beat. And he's immune to Ki Blast, so this makes it a very unique villain in that sense, but his personality is more based off of villains we've seen in the past, especially Cell. He feels a lot like Cell, which I guess is fine, but like that's not the best part about this arc. It's about the character development, the world building we've been getting, and basically his powers. That's pretty much it. His personality is pretty bland, but definitely better than Jiren. I will give them that much. But yeah, Dragon Ball Super is really good. I already got the next volume pre-ordered. I need to go back and pick up the rest of the volumes I missed because this is really, really good. And I can't wait for the next volume to come out. So the next one, let me put this up real quick. The next one we got, let me put this one up too, to make the anticipation even more exciting. So the next one we got is Saint Youngmen. Saint Youngmen was a series I really wanted to read simply on the premise alone. It is about Jesus and Buddha coming down from their from the heaven to come down to earth and try out the earthly pleasures, like snowball fights, Christmas, water parks, and amusement parks and stuff like that. It's so good. It's so wholesome too. And for someone who's really into philosophy and religion, seeing a bunch of the references put into this just makes the series so much better. The person who wrote this knows a lot about both religions and does both religions very great justice. Buddhism more philosophy, whatever. I believe Buddhism is more of a philosophy than religion, but that doesn't really matter. But just in case you didn't know what the series was talking about or what it's about, some of the references, they have these translation notes to tell you what they're about. Because not everybody's very not a lot of people are put into religion and know a lot of the references. Even those who are like deep into it, there's a lot of stuff I did not understand for the jokes. So seeing them there in the translation notes, I greatly appreciated, because I'm still deep diving into this stuff and some stuff I don't know. So I greatly appreciate that. Plus, Kodansha has done a really, really great job when it comes to releasing the series in this very dummy thick hardback 2-in-1. And having these full color pages is just absolutely gorgeous. I absolutely adore it. Look at this. Jesus and Buddha are literally ice skating. And the angels are believing like Jesus is needing help and is being returned to heaven. It's funny. It's wholesome. I absolutely love it. Seeing these two guys who obviously are very big figures just put all differences and just be really wholesome and be really happy in life. It's just awesome. I just love it. Super, 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 super wholesome stuff. It's one of the few series that I read that I smile. I just smile the whole time while I'm reading it, like I do with Nagatoro. I just smile the whole time while I'm reading it, and it's just a really great, wholesome read, and I definitely recommend it. Even if you aren't religious or philosophical, what would that be? Religious and philosophical? I don't know. That's a weird word. We're making words today, but definitely check it out if you haven't yet. This is super good stuff. And going from super wholesome to super gory, as I've realized I've been doing this whole time, I need to work on that, on how I present these. But the next one is the super ultra gory that I absolutely adore, Fist of the North Star. One of my first videos I made on this channel was my top 5 series I was wanting to buy in 2021, and this was one of them. This was a series that I barely figured out was coming out, because this was January, and it had one Amazon listing, that no image, nothing, just said Fist of the North Star Ultimate Edition physical release or whatever, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I like this a lot. And this series is absolutely crazy. It is amazing, though. It is amazing. If you like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure and the stupidity and craziness that goes on with it, you're like, what the heck is going on? This series is for you. It takes that Macho Man craziness, which, I mean, to be fair, JoJo was based off this to a degree. That crazy, just insane stuff that just happens in that series happens a lot in here. This is the kind of series where I'm like, I really don't know what's going on, but I really don't care, because it's really fun and really stupid and crazy and gory, and I love it. What I mean about there's not a lot when I don't understand what's going on is that the series is episodic. So the main character, Kinshiro, is trying to find his fiancée. She's been kidnapped, and he basically just goes to city and city and city trying to find her. And on the way, he helps children, old people, women who are struggling due to these really evil people, and try to help them out of the situation. One thing that really shocks me about this series is that there's very little story. Very little story in this. It's very episodic. So basically what happens is there's a bad guy, they fight the bad guy dies, he moves on to the next person. Just like JoJo, now that I think about it, JoJo has that same kind of structure. JoJo Part 4 in part 3 have that kind of structure. It's very interesting in that sense, because that's how it feels like. And the best way I can describe Kenshiro as a main character is that he feels like Jesus and Bruce Lee had a baby. You'd get Kenshiro. He's very interesting because, one, this dude's absolutely invincible. This guy has no problems beating the crap out of anybody and refuses to, like, stop. This is the kind of guy that would, like, pierce your chest, twist it, pull out, lick it, and then smack your head in. And it's absolutely amazing because of that. Like, oh my god, the amount of gore and violence in this series that I absolutely snort up my nose, dude. It's just so good. Like, look at this. He just blasts a hole in his head and then literally blows him up. It is just amazing. And it's good. It's so good. Because, like, these guys, you're like, how can these guys who've barely gotten very little, like, space, these villains that come in it, barely get any time for development? And that's not their point. That's not their point. The whole point of it is that you're supposed to watch this guy's head get blown off. And the main reason why these guys work so well is because you're like, oh, this guy's evil. You're like, oh, okay, he's evil. Whatever. How is the author going to make me care for the villain that I want to see his head get beaten in? And that's usually by, like, killing children or, like, beating up women and stuff like that. And I'm like, oh my god, this dude's evil. I want to see his head get bashed in, you know? And then, like, it's just so stupid because it's not built up at all. It's just like, there's a bad guy. It's built up a little bit, and then like, oh, why is he bad? It's not really said. It's just, oh, I'm a bad guy. Why are you bad? I beat children. You're like, I hate this man. I want to see this man die. I've enslaved a whole town, and I have all the women as slaves. It's like, oh my god, this man's a bad person. I want to see his head get beat in. And it's like, it's so stupid because we don't get that much development for the villains, but like, I somehow care about the fact that I don't like this man. I'm like, I don't like you. I don't like you at all. Why do you exist? And then like Kenshiro's like, I got you, bro, and like just claps his head in, twist, like I said, twisted, pulls out, claps, or just like the whole like Bruce Lee crap. It's just so good. It's so good. Love it so much, and I cannot wait for the next volume to come out. Technically, I could buy the comic books for it because they have these 80s comics that have came out in the past for this series. But like, bro, this whole like release is just gorgeous, and it's got full color pages sometimes. Really good stuff. I love it so much, especially in the beginning. Okay, so the beginning, like they'll have this stuff, like they'll have like full plastic. I don't know what you'd call this. Comic book pages, I would say comic book pages, like that feeling, and like they'll have it like that for a little bit before it goes back to the normal paper. But like, so good. I love Fist of the North Star so much. And if you have not read it and you like stupid violence for no reason, then I absolutely recommend it because this series is a blast. If you want to see where a lot of tropes in shonen have come from, and like, yeah, if you just want to see a lot of tropes in shonen, just check this out. This is the baby. Dragon Ball and Fist of the North Star. This is like where it started. And something that's really surprised me. If you're worried about the series like being bad due to how old it is, do not be worried about that at all, because this series is amazing. Just take the deep dive, check it out. It's a lot of fun. Fist of the North Star. And these volumes are so beautiful. So beautiful. And finally, this one is my number 4 manga of all time now. This one changed my life and made me look at my life in a different way, and for that I greatly appreciate that. Made me look into a philosophy that I had no clue that I was gonna deep dive into. I mean, I was already looking into it beforehand, but like to actually go deep into it and research more into it was just absolutely amazing. And that is the fictionalized biography of Buddha by Osamu Tezuka. So you just heard me say fictionalized biography. What I mean by that is that Osamu Tezuka took Buddha's story and took some parts of it and twisted it and added his own stuff into it. I know a lot of people who are Buddhists were kind of mad at that and don't like that, but like Buddha wouldn't care. Buddha would not care. As you tell, I have a Buddha statue up here, mainly because I really agree with this man's teachings. So whenever I'm in like a big lull or like I'm sad or disappointed, or like having some emotions, I like looking up there and seeing his face and reminding me about all the teachings that he's taught. And this series, like I said, changed my life. This, you can't see it because I have it down right now, but this is a 8-volume series. Air quote, 8 volumes. Because these are stupidly thick volumes. Originally was printed, I believe, 14 volumes in Japan. One of the best-selling manga of all time, and for very good reason. This is absolutely stunning. This is my number 4 manga of all time, and for very good reason. This is one of the few volumes of manga that I've read that like I've had to like put it down and like question my thought process, who I am as a person, and where I'm going with my life. And for a manga to do that, it's just absolutely amazing, because that's what I like in manga. It's either you take me out of life and let me watch stupid crap happen, for example, Against the North Star. Take me out of life, let me watch some guy's head get blown off, that's amazing. Or I want a series to make me really sit down and think about my life and see how I can do better for myself. And Buddha absolutely did that. It was really hard reading, not really hard reading this series, but like I was having a hard time like reading this, because like after I finished a volume, I would have to sit down for like several days and like think about where my life was going and who I was as a person and my thought process and stuff, and watching myself grow oddly enough as I kept writing the volumes was absolutely amazing. The main character, Buddha, seeing him go from a child and being trapped in a civilization, being hidden away from all the suffering, and eventually being taken into finding out about suffering later in his life and being shocked and traumatized from it, was really interesting. You know, and for me, I really resonated with Buddha because this is gonna get a little personal real quick, but like I have a heart problem. Transposition is the great arteries, so I have limitations to what I can and can't do. And Buddha is a person who was born incredibly weak, and I was also really sheltered as a kid due to my health problems. So seeing a character like that, who's dealt with stuff that I've dealt with, made me really resonate with him as a character, and as a person, it made me like really feel for him, because I saw a lot of myself in the struggles that he was dealing with. So after I finished the volume, I'd be like, oh my god, I saw a lot of myself and my personal issues be reflected back, and it meant a lot for Buddha to like make me look at it and say, hey, this is the stuff. What Buddha dealt with was stuff that I used to deal with, and because of the suffering that I deal with, I could become a better person because of that. And for Buddha, this manga to show that to me was really amazing, and for that I'm immensely grateful for that. This series, like I said, has made me a much different person than I was before I read it. It's changed me into a better person, and I greatly appreciate that for this series. And if you have not read Buddha yet, there's a reason why it's one of the best manga of all time, one of the best-selling manga of all time. And to think that I don't know if I would have ever checked this series out if it wasn't for that one Astro Boy volume I found for 10 cents at a yard sale. Osamu Tezuka is known as one of the best manga writers and drawers of all time for a reason, and is rightfully given the name of Walt Disney of Japan for a reason. Oh man. It's so amazing. He's got there's a documentary on YouTube that you definitely need to check out if you haven't yet on Osamu Tezuka. It is a fantastic watch, and you see this man's like love for comics come out of it, and you see this man's love for what he made, and it just really shined in his childlike wonder. It was amazing. And I believe he was working on Buddha in that, so that was really cool to see. But yeah, I absolutely love Buddha. Check it out if you haven't. This like I said, this series literally changed my life, and for that I'm eternally grateful. It's like I said, it's one of the few series that have made me like I've had to put down and think after I put down a volume. There's only been one series that's been able to do that for me. That's been Goodnight Poom Poom. And that's for a different reason. But for Poom Poom, that was more like the same thing. Was like where my ideas and thoughts and who I was as a person was being reflected back at me, and it was being told to me, hey, I need to fix the issues that I have. Buddha did the same thing for me, and for that I greatly appreciate that. I know a lot of Buddhists were saying like they had issues with this series being a lot more lighthearted. This series is super lighthearted and incredibly dark at the same time. What's this guy's name again? Osamu Tezuka's comedy really shines through in this, in parts where like it should be taken really deeply and seriously. But for me, I never had an issue with it, because he kept it lighthearted, but he always kept it serious. It wasn't like, even though it was lighthearted, and his artwork being incredibly goofy, even though it was lighthearted and his artwork was incredibly goofy, it never took away from the fact that this was a very deep story, and it still could be taken incredibly seriously still. And by the time the series ended, I like I said, I was incredibly shocked and left me a different person. And I absolutely recommend Buddha if you have not checked it out yet. It is an absolute masterclass in manga and should be checked out, even if you are not one into philosophy or religion. And with that, my friend, that has been all the manga that you have missed in the past 6 months. It is Christmas time, so I will be getting some new manga soon, and I will be excited to show that to you all once I do. So I cannot wait to show you the new manga that I get once I get my Christmas money in and get some new manga, because dude, I am back and it feels great. So with that, my friend, thank you for watching. Hopefully you're having a fantastic day, my beautiful, beautiful Chimp Champs. And as always, go out there and read some manga, my friend. Bye-bye.